Breaking news. Lando Norris admitted he isn't entirely prepared to go head-to-head with Max Verstappen in the battle for the F1 crown. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton has confessed he considered leaving Mercedes earlier after receiving a shocking radio message during a race. In other news, Red Bull has called on the FIA to penalize Ferrari and McLaren after uncovering fresh evidence of alleged cheating ahead of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Welcome to F1 Real Time. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. With the 2024 Formula One season nearing its conclusion, Lando Norris has offered a candid reflection on his title-contending campaign ahead of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Although the championship is still mathematically within reach, the odds are stacked heavily against the McLaren driver, with Max Verstappen on the brink of securing his fourth consecutive world championship. The story of this season has been one of grit, growth, and gradual progress for Norris and McLaren. The British driver notched up his maiden Formula One victory earlier this year at the Miami Grand Prix, a result that heralded a mid-season resurgence for the Woking-based team. Despite their efforts, Red Bull's early dominance and Verstappen's relentless consistency have proven insurmountable, leaving Norris to focus on lessons learned rather than silverware collected. Norris entered the 2024 season with tempered expectations. McLaren began the year as the third or fourth best team on the grid, far from the championship-winning form they eventually found mid-season. While Red Bull stormed out of the gates with commanding victories, Norris and teammate Oscar Piastri worked tirelessly to close the gap. Their efforts paid off, with McLaren overtaking Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship standings, a feat largely attributed to the struggles of Red Bull's second driver, Sergio Perez. However, despite chipping away at Verstappen's commanding points lead, a pivotal moment in Brazil all but ended Norris' title hopes. Verstappen's dominant performance extended the gap to 62 points, leaving Norris requiring a miraculous run of wins and a string of retirements from the Dutchman to clinch the title. Going into the season, I didn't really believe we'd be title contenders, Norris admitted during a press conference. It's a very different mindset when you're not expecting to fight for a championship. We started miles off the pace, and Red Bull was incredibly dominant early on. But we've shown we can be one of the quickest teams, even if it's not always by the margins they had. While 2024 may not have delivered a championship, Norris has embraced the season as a learning curve. He openly acknowledged areas for improvement not only for McLaren as a team, but also in his own performances. There's been plenty of races where we didn't perform at the level we needed, both as a team and individually. Silverstone is a prime example. We should have been in contention for a 1-2 finish, but we couldn't have been further from achieving that. Norris also highlighted the mental and strategic challenges of going toe-to-toe with Verstappen, a driver he considers one of the greatest in Formula One history. Max is on another level, probably one of the best ever. To compete with someone like him, you need to be almost flawless, and I wasn't. But since the summer break, I feel I've been much closer to where I need to be. Former F1 driver David Coulthard echoed Norris' sentiments, suggesting that McLaren's sudden rise caught even the team off guard. I don't think McLaren started the season thinking they were championship contenders, Coulthard said in an interview with F1 Real Time. When they found themselves in the mix, it seemed like they didn't quite know how to own it. Coulthard also pointed out the difference in experience between Norris and Verstappen. Max has been in these high-pressure situations for years, and he's perfected the art of getting his elbows out. For Lando, this is the first year he's had to adapt to a completely different mentality, fighting for wins and a title, rather than just podiums. Despite the heartbreak of falling short this year, Norris remains optimistic about his future. "I think I'm ready now," he said confidently. "If we can start next year where we've ended this season, I believe we'll be genuine contenders from the outset." Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton, on the cusp of concluding his illustrious tenure with Mercedes, candidly admitted that frustration and disappointment almost led him to walk away early following a challenging Brazilian Grand Prix. Hamilton's 2024 Formula One season has been a roller coaster of emotions. Amidst the high points of extending his record with a 9th British Grand Prix win and claiming victory at Spa, there have also been stark lows. Notably, his struggles in Austin, where he failed to progress past Q1, and a spin early in the race underscored the difficulties of his final campaign with Mercedes before his highly anticipated move to Ferrari. The Brazilian Grand Prix added to the frustrations. Hamilton once again dropped out in Q1, a rare sight for the 7-time world champion. Despite a commendable recovery drive to claim P10 and a single point, his post-race radio message hinted at deeper dissatisfaction. "If this is the last time I get to perform, it was a shame it wasn't great, but I'm grateful for you," Hamilton said over the radio, sparking speculation about his mindset. Ahead of the inaugural Las Vegas Grand Prix, Hamilton addressed the media and confirmed that his message reflected an internal battle about continuing for the remainder of the season. "In the moment, that's how I felt," he explained. "I didn't really want to come back after that weekend." Hamilton attributed this sentiment to the natural frustrations of enduring a season below his usual lofty standards. "It's frustrating when you have a season like this," he admitted. "I'm pretty sure I won't have a season like this again, or at least I'll work towards not having one again. It just wasn't a great feeling in that moment. But I'm here, I'm standing strong, and I'm going to give it absolutely everything for these last few races." The 3-week break between the Brazilian Grand Prix and the Las Vegas event provided Hamilton with a much-needed opportunity to recharge. "I've had an amazing last week with lots of really great projects I'm working on," Hamilton shared, referencing his involvement in the upcoming Formula One movie and a creative collaboration with artist Tyler, the creator. "Heat of the moment, sure. I'd much rather be on the beach, chilling. I don't need to do this," he quipped before reaffirming his love for racing. "But I'm here, and I love this job still. I'm here to absolutely give it my all these last few races and finish out strong, and that was always the plan." Hamilton's final 3 races with Mercedes mark the end of an era. The 39-year-old's move to Ferrari in 2025 will place him alongside Charles Leclerc, a dynamic partnership that promises to shake up the grid. While the frustrations of 2024 have tested Hamilton, they also appear to have reignited his resolve. As Formula One heads into the final triple-header of the season, culminating in Abu Dhabi, Hamilton's sights are firmly set on delivering the kind of performances that have defined his glittering career. "It's been a tough year," he acknowledged, "but tough years teach you a lot. I'm ready to take those lessons forward." Meanwhile, ahead of the highly anticipated Las Vegas Grand Prix, the FIA has issued a new technical directive to Formula One teams, targeting a previously unaddressed loophole involving skid block and fastening screw protection. This move comes after Red Bull reportedly raised concerns about rival teams exploiting the gray area to gain a competitive edge. Skid blocks, also referred to as planks, are an essential part of the car's underfloor structure. Stretching from the front to the back, they serve to protect the floor from damage caused by contact with bumps and curbs. The regulations stipulate that the plank must maintain a thickness of 10 mm with a tolerance of plus 0.2 mm. A minimum thickness of 9 mm due to wear is allowed, with any further reduction leading to disqualification, as seen last season when Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc were disqualified at the United States Grand Prix. Teams are consistently pushing the limits to lower their cars closer to the ground, increasing aerodynamic downforce. However, this also subjects the skid block and fastening screws to excessive wear. To counteract this, some teams reportedly developed innovative methods to shield these components, including insulation and a recent tactic involving special protection for the rear fastening screws. By safeguarding the fastening screws, teams could maintain lower ride heights while avoiding excessive wear measurements. According to media reports, as many as 50% of the grid may have been utilizing this trick, exploiting the gray area in the regulations to extract additional performance. Red Bull reportedly flagged the issue to the FIA, calling the practice into question. In response, the FIA issued a directive clarifying that such protective measures were illegal, stating, "Protective skids in question were not permitted." This assessment applies with immediate effect. This clampdown comes just days before the Las Vegas Grand Prix, leaving teams with little time to adjust. Reports suggest one team, potentially Ferrari, sought a delay in implementing the directive, as adjusting ride heights to comply could cost valuable lap time.